The challenges we think that Chief Marketing Officer really is faced with, a lot of industries are changing so fast, their business model is completely changing. The way they used to do business is like completely defunct, and they're trying to reinvent themselves. Everybody is getting pressure on producing return on investment, especially the marketing folks. The media is changing so fast with new media and old media dying and such, that these chief marketing officers are trying to keep on top of it and leaning on their agencies and their people to learn and change as fast as possible. Data, of course, and we know this more than anybody else, I think, is exploding and is creating sort of confusion across the enterprise because there's not really a data czar inside of most of the big organizations who actually touches all the different kinds of data. And then all these new channels and technology really is requiring different expertise in the marketing department than they've had before. So these are all things that they're struggling with. So really, companies have to be on all the time to be open to that conversation with you. So we're talking about an always-on relationship, and how can we help our clients actually create that so that they are meeting the expectations of their customers. The customer is really, or the consumer is much more in charge than they ever did before. So when you talk to CMOs, they say they're trying to deliver a consistent and relevant brand experience across the entire consumer relationship. And we haven't really thought of ourselves as being brand experience people, but really we are enabling that always-on relationship. And I think that there's kind of an inherent plumbing inside this concept of an always-on relationship that Sigma is really, I think, unusually able to help deliver. There's an integrated marketing hub that can enable all the channels. There have to be strategies that capture data consistently across all the different touch points. And there has to be a way to turn that new data into insights that can drive strategy so that consistent strategies can be delivered across the channel and throughout the customer relationship. And then, of course, there has to be some integrated multi-channel engines that can actually automate the touch. So if you think about all those pieces and parts, we're doing a lot of those pieces and parts for a lot of our clients. And we haven't really given ourselves credit to say, we've got the stuff to make all this happen. Now, I've been showing a chart like this for probably 25 years because I think that if you really want to integrate, if you really want to create an always-on relationship strategy, you have to know how the customer comes to you, how they stay with you, how they talk about you with their friends. So you have to understand that there are relationship stages, and we have to understand what's happening at each of these different relationship stages. What are the triggers that move someone from one stage to the next? What are the needs and the desires and the wants and the problems that happen at each of these different stages? What people are doing is they're talking about the customer journey, and that means how do they come into the relationship, how do they get attracted and sign up, how do they convert, how did we retain them, how did we grow them across all the different media. So we have to start thinking about that little customer journey and learning things and gathering insights about how a customer is coming through that relationship. Now this is a kind of crazy chart, but what I'm trying to do is squeeze everything in the world on one page. This is like a unified, this is like string theory or something of what we do. But if we think about having a strategy across the entire customer relationship, each of the stages, and we're trying to optimize all the different media channels that might be used to interact with customers. We're trying to create closed-loop touch points or dialogues using as many media as makes sense against each of the different stages, measuring, doing our marketing analytics, measuring what happened, what works, what doesn't work, and through the process here, gathering more insights about what's happening along each of these different stages. When we filled in all those circles, we're really at a point where we can be optimizing this whole always-on relationship. Several clients have said, I've been trying to put this on one page too, but I can't figure out how to, squeeze all the different things we're doing into one page. And they say, can I get a copy of this, please? So that's a good thing. Now, Forrester has, in a number of their different publications, has estimated the actual return on investment of bringing these types of communications together. They're calling it unified marketing, when all these components and dialogues are optimized. But some factoids, some information. Profitability of customers who actually buy from multiple channels versus just one. So for companies who've actually been able to get them to buy, all the different ways they sell, they spend on average 5 times as much as folks who buy from a single channel. Making more personalized marketing experiences can deliver 4 to 5 times ROI. Integrating the web visit with outbound messaging, 2 times ROI. Integrating print and digital messaging, 4 times ROI. Again, the more you integrate the multiple touch points, the more reinforcement your message has, the higher the response rate is. And so these are estimates from Forrester on how much return on investment taking the individual steps of integrating the pieces. So what are the challenges to customer engagement and this always-on relationship? And I think they fall in sort of 4 different areas: analytics and measurement, technology and tools, multi-channel messaging and digital, and integrating teams who can drive strategy.